What's up guys, Blinkers on here, and today we are going to be making a hamburger that you can pick up and eat in Roblox Studio that will heal you, and yeah, it'll heal you, and it's a really nice pickup item for pretty much every single game that you make, like natural disaster survival games or any other kind of game where you have to restore health in some kind of way. So what you will need to do this is to make sure the health system works, you will need a brick that will hurt you. So what I have right here, I've just programmed a very simple brick that brings me down to 50 health when you touch it. So that's where I am right now. And it heals you up, but over time, you heal up over time. But that's just the brick right now that I have. And I'm going to show you the code. So the code is right here. This is all the code I have for the hurtBrick. I will be putting the code in the description so you can see that to give to the template for this project that we're going to be working on. But I will not give you the code in the description for the hamburger because, I mean, I'm not just going to give you the code. You should be able to learn it yourself, you know? So, yeah, this is the code for the hurtBrick, and I will post it in the description. Alright, so now we're going to get started actually making the hamburger. So first, we're going to add something to the workspace called a tool. This is a pickable item, like an item that you can pick up in the game. And currently you can't see it right now, but it's in the Explorer right here. So we're going to rename it to hamburger. And then, because we can't see it, we first need to add a mesh to it. So we need to add like a block or something. So I'm going to add a part. I'm going to change the color back to gray. Change the material just to plastic or something. That's metal. Change it to plastic. Something like that. So now we have a block, and if we play it, it actually won't work because we have one specific thing. When you have a tool that you want to pick up, you always have to have a part that is named handle with a capital H. Alright, it has to be named handle with a capital H. So when you play, now that I've named it handle, I can pick it up, see? And now I have it in my inventory. And it says hamburger at the bottom. And I can unequip it and equip it and do all sorts of cool things. I could even edit the point where I grab it at, but we won't need to be doing that for this tutorial. So that's our hamburger right there, but that doesn't really look like a hamburger and we can't interact with it at all. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to delete that part. And we're actually going to use the toolbox for this, and we're going to search up hamburger, and all we want is the mesh. In this tutorial, we want to learn how to make it. So we're going to find just the mesh of the hamburger, not a hamburger that has a script. So you can go into it, and you'll be able to hover over one, and you can search for, and you can make sure that you've only grabbed one that doesn't have any scripts in it. So this one has some scripts in it, so we don't want that one. This one is just the mesh, and so is this one. And that one has better reviews, so we're just going to pull this one out. And conveniently, it already is a part that says handle and has the mesh. So if this doesn't happen, you just need to, if it doesn't have a part with it already, what you can do is you can just look up the mesh. So if I just delete this handle right here, if this one, you can bring this out and look at it, it has a mesh. Oh, this one has a handle too. Oh my goodness. But if it doesn't have, if it's just the mesh, we can add a part to the hamburger and rename that to handle. And you can add the mesh underneath it. And that way, it'll have the hamburger. So or you can just search through until you find one that has a brick called handle and has the mesh. So we're just going to use this one down here, which I'm going to pull out if it can load. Oh my goodness. Right there. We're going to use this one. Alright. So this one has a handle and a mesh. So I'm going to drag that underneath our hamburger tool. So now that it's parent, the hamburger is its parent. And we're going to go in, pick it up, and boom, we have a hamburger. But when we press, nothing happens because we haven't scripted anything yet. So we're going to actually get out of that, and we're going to write our first script. So we're going to make a script under the tool hamburger, and make sure it's a normal script, not a local script. And then we're going to make a variable called hamburger. So we're gonna write local hamburger, or we can just write burger, and set it equal to script.Parent. You always want to have a variable for the parent. That's my rule. So then you can make a function, local function, eat, and then you have something right there. So functions, and you just press enter, and then it'll create an end statement at the end. So functions are basically a set of code that can be run at any point for the script. So what I can do later is I can just write eat. So if I write inside of the function print eat, then we run it later in the code, and I hit play. In the console, it'll print eat, because that's what our code said in the function. So now we're actually going to get rid of the print statement, and we're going to get rid of this function at the end. So now we're going to add some code. So we're going to do, since this is a tool, we want to make sure first that we can reference the player. So local humanoid, or we want to actually get character is equal to burger.Parent. It's because when we pick up the tool, the parent of the tool will be the player character. And then now we have the player character. Now we want to find the humanoid part of our character. So we're going to do another variable, local humanoid. Make sure it says local in front of it or it will not work. Now you're just going to set that equal to character, 2 dots, FindFirstChild, humanoid. Boom. There we go. So now that we have humanoid, if it doesn't pull up humanoid when you're looking up, because see how it pulls up hamburger and some other stuff? That's because we currently don't have a player character that it's parented to, but it will work once we run the code. So now that we have a reference to our humanoid, we can write if humanoid, then, now we have an if statement with our humanoid, and I've explained that in my last tutorial. Now we write humanoid.Health is equal to 100, so it'll fully heal us. Then, just to be safe, to make sure that the code before that it'll actually heal us, we'll write task.wait, set it to about 0.1 seconds, and then we're going to do burger destroy, and that will destroy our tool and get it out of the player's inventory. So now that we've done that, if we were going to go play and test it out, it wouldn't work because we're not calling the function at all. So now we're actually going to connect the function to an event. So we're going to go burger.activated, because when it says activated, see how it says fires when the player clicks the tool, or fires when the player clicks while the tool is equipped. So basically this just happens whenever the tool is used. So, and now you're going to write the 2 dots, and write connect, so basically link our function, and we can write eat inside to tell it what function that we're going to do. Now that we have all of this, we can go and we can test it out. We're going to go in, we go here. Now that we have our hamburger, go over here and press this, and boom, we have been fully healed. I'm going to run this again. We can turn around, we can go over here, we pick up our hamburger, we have it in our inventory, we're at full health. This brick brings us down to 50 when you touch it, and now if I simply click on my screen while this is equipped, I am fully healed in the corner of my screen. And that is our working hamburger. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is a very basic hamburger tutorial, and it doesn't really have any sounds with it. I will probably make an updated version when it does have sounds later in the future, but this is just a basic script. And it'll work for pretty much anything that you want to do. And yeah, it's really useful. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.